As promised, here on the Rich Eisen Show, someone who I saw back in the day on Broadway when he was in Rent, and he was fantastic in it. And he is the man through which, or through whom, Stella once got her groove back. And also, he is now in CW's All-American, playing a football coach here in Los Angeles. That's just a few of the highlights of the career of Taye Diggs here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Taye?
What's happening? It's good to be here, and I'm hoping you're well.
I am doing very well. Let's get right into your show, CW's All-American. You play the role of Billy Baker, based on the story of Spencer Pasinger, who is in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and his is an interesting path to the NFL, going from Crenshaw High to Beverly Hills High here in Los Angeles to try and make it. How did you get first introduced to this story, Taye?
Well, that part of the story is kind of boring. It was just a script that came across my desk. It was at the bottom of the pile just because I was not very familiar with the type of material that the CW dealt with. My assumption was that they just dealt with comic book stuff and kids shows.
Sure.
But I read it and I was immediately moved. And there are those moments in life where you feel like you should kind of lean into the risk. They weren't paying as much as I was used to, and I wasn't familiar with the network. But the piece itself really spoke to me, and I felt like this was something that I needed to take a chance on. And I did, and I'm very grateful. I'm really proud that I'm on a show that kind of can deal with a lot of what we're going through in life currently as we're going through it today. I have an 11-year-old kid, and we watch the show together and we discuss these issues, and I'm very grateful for those moments. So. I'm having a good time.
You sure are. So are you channeling any specific football coach? Did you reach out to any actual coaches to get some ins and outs that you're bringing to the screen right now, Taye?
I'm surrounded by football players, and I kind of take a little bit from everybody. I take from coaches, I take from teachers, I take a little bit from players. And then, of course, what I have in my own bag of tricks. So, thankfully, we're supported by a great kind of doubles team, and the people that do our stunts are incredible. We're constantly running routes, in between takes, and
okay.
At least we were before the crazy Corona hit. But
sure. So how are you as a route runner, Taye? Then let's get into that. How are you as a?
You know what? As long as my knee, I just turned 50. As long as I don't pull a hammy, my hands are okay. My hands are all right. I can do it once, and then I sit down and let the kids take off.
Isn't it amazing? Tom Brady's doing it at age 43, Taye. He's playing in an NFC Championship game at age 43. Isn't that something?
Crazy.
Right?
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yes.
It's very impressive. I got to tell you that I've always been, I started out very athletic, but then I was too small, so I didn't do very well. So I started, working with the performing arts, but I've always been a fan of sports, and being on the show has given me this ridiculous respect for athletes, professional and otherwise. It's ridiculous what these people do and what they continue to do, and how they maintain. So I have a newfound respect for them.
Taye Diggs here on the Rich Eisen Show. So when you were at Syracuse, I'm trying to figure because I'm 51. So when you were at Syracuse, was like Pearl Washington there? Is this the Ronnie Cycli era when you were in Syracuse at the Big East era?
Yep. Lawrence Moulton, Derek
Coleman, DC, the great
Derek
DC.
Coleman was yes, big DC. That was his day.
Okay, so did you spend any time in the old Carrier Dome at all, or you just?
I had a work-study job making pizza in the Carrier Dome while the games are being played. I wasn't paying much attention because I had to, go over my ballet and my singing and acting, but it was quite a sight to behold, and it was just a great place to go to school. I had the best of all the worlds. So I had a great performing arts program, but then tons of just regular folks as well. So I feel very fortunate.
So if anybody who remembers those great Big East heydays and say, hey, I was in the Carrier Dome watching these guys, Derek Coleman, DC, and Boeheim, and do their thing. The pizza that they got from the concession stand could have been made by Taye Diggs, is basically what you're saying.
100%. 100%. A good amount. Yeah. 100%. It was good, too. It was good. In those days, I didn't have to watch my weight, so I could eat as much as I wanted. And still had those abs. Yeah.
So then at some point, Taye Diggs got his groove back on that front, is what you're saying, right? Pretty much on that front. Okay.
I didn't have it yet, but I was definitely working on the groove. It took me a minute. It took me a minute to get it,
I bet.
lose it, and then get it back again.
What was it like to be on the set of that film with Angela Bassett? Did you have any sense, because that was your first film role? You had already hit it on Broadway, but what was that like for you, Taye Diggs?
It was a combination, because I was very. Once I figured out what I wanted to do, then the ambition kicked in. So it was a combination of being grateful and in awe, but then realizing, okay, this is how this story goes, and I need to follow the script. You know what I mean? This is what's happening. So I knew that I was on the right track. You know what I mean? It was great, and I owe so much to Angela Bassett, and the Regina King was in that movie. And,
that's right.
They were really, really, just supportive. You know what I mean? I felt like I belonged there, but they didn't know that I belonged there, and they treated me like I did, and that definitely translated. It was like being in a storybook.
I'm mandated to ask, was Courtney B. Vance on the set giving you the side eye, but next to the camera?
Well, not the side eye, not at all. He was actually giving me, he was there also, just even more supportive.
No kidding.
Than Angela.
He's a professional.
Telling me, what to kind of look out for in this business, and to make sure I had, the right kind of representation. Everybody was just so. Just gracious and generous with their experience. You know what I mean? From what kind of luggage to get. Angela Bassett said I needed to get Toomey luggage.
Okay.
Toomey was
good to know. I'll make a note.
I've been getting that ever since. And then Whoopi Goldberg said, always be kind to your fans. Just keep moving. Stay on the move. Those are the things that I remember. It was awesome. We shot in Jamaica.
Oh.
I mean, it couldn't have been a better launch pad. You know what I mean?
Couple more things to ask you, Taye Diggs, before I let you go on with your day. How did you wind up? How did you wind up voicing the Fab Five documentary for the 30 for 30 with Jalen Rose? How did you wind up in that microphone?
I have no idea. I just said yes.
Okay.
I'm flighty. I can be what's the word? I'm just not always there, kind of aloof.
Okay.
And a lot of times people will just run things by me, and I'll just say yes. And that was one of the things that I just said yes to. Had no idea what I was doing until I got into the studio, and it was one of those jobs where I truly was enjoying what I was reading, and had to kind of remind myself that I wasn't just reading it for myself. That this other people, because the story was so just so interesting, and in this industry you run into these cats. You know what I mean? And I had no idea. The intricacies of that story. It was really great. So after that, I've been looking. I haven't yet, but I've been looking for to do things, along those same lines. That was a little gift, a gift of a gem right there.
Never know. Before I let you go again, you're speaking of reading your children's book, My Friend. I'll give you the floor on that.
Oh man, yeah, I've been lucky enough to have written a series of books. First one was called Chocolate Me. Second one, Mix Me. The third one's called I Love You More Than. And now I got My Friend out. It's about the friendship and how friends have to kind of look out for each other, and when one falters, to kind of stand up and have your friends back, and make sure you remind your people where they come from, and that they should act right. So we're taking the two characters from Chocolate Me and Mixed Me, and combining them and delving into their friendship. So it's the same illustrator as all the other books, Shane Evans. We met in high school, and we continue to be great friends and writing partners. And I'm excited to put this book out, and hoping they do as well as the others.
Fantastic, Taye. I lied. Last question. We noticed when we were preparing some still photographs for this interview, that you have an absurd amount of hats. How many hats do you have, Taye Diggs? How many hats do you own?
48,000, and I have no idea.
You should have given me the rent number. You should have given me the rent number. 525,600.
Nice
Come
one.
on.
That's why you do
I
what
was
you do.
setting you up, Taye. Come on now.
I'm gonna steal that though. So I'll give you credit.
Okay, you do that. Taye, thanks for the call. The CW's All-American, 8 Eastern on Monday. Episodes the next day for free only on the CW's, how you can stream them the next day. Season 3 of All-American with Taye Diggs. Thanks for the call.
Thanks for having me, man. Take care.
You bet. That's Taye Diggs right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.